Hey, hey, hey! I hope you're doing wonderful today and definitely not stressed because that is our topic. We're going to talk about stress, how our stress affects to our dogs, and what are the 5 quite common things that get our dogs stressed on a daily basis. Let's jump right in. And now you might think, that doesn't apply to me or my dog. I could even say that about my dog Jam. You've seen her in the videos. She's just all laid back and doesn't seem that she gets stressed at all. But that's not true. Even she gets stressed daily, just a little bit. So no hiding here. Let's jump to the first one. That is definitely the biggest one. And it is miscommunication. Not understanding how your dog communicates. Not understanding, not knowing what are calming signals. This is something that dogs have to live daily all around the world. When they are with human beings, oftentimes dogs feel misunderstood. Think about a situation where you have to immigrate to a new country. You have no idea what the people are saying, even though they are same species than you. Now we have to add the dog factor. Dog is different species, but let's just keep it simple. You move to an African country where they speak some minor language that you haven't heard ever in your life. And you would have to get your daily chores done using that language. How would you feel? You would feel extremely stressed. And then what would happen when you would try to, through trial and error, make happen those daily activities, the people who would speak that language would punish you from your mistakes. How would that make you feel? You would already, I can guarantee, you would already feel stressed, but you will start to feel even more stressed and insecure and on top of your toes and looking around and being afraid of using that language and also being afraid of being in that environment with the people. So miscommunication is the number one thing that happens in a dog's lives. But I know that who have been watching and binging through the videos that I've been making, I know that you already know about calming signals. So you are on a good way of mastering your dog's body language, even though we just touched base with the most common ones. There's so much to learn, and you will get there at the mastery level during your lifetime. And then comes the next dog, and you think, oh my goodness, there's something still that we need to learn. Anyway, if you haven't watched, I will put down the link down below, so you can check those videos through. So, not learning these signals that your dog is using, you're causing your dog a lot of stress. I highly suggest that you will get going and start learning. Then the second one is that if we don't understand natural needs of dogs, we can talk about barking, we can talk about digging. There's many things that dogs do that are completely natural for dogs, but not natural for us. We already have taken dogs that are animals to live in environments that are not natural for them, and then we ask them to do certain things that are completely out of their character, so to say. And when they then do something that is very normal for a dog, they oftentimes get punished from it. A dog is digging in the garden. He doesn't know that he cannot dig up your beautiful roses. He just knows he needs to dig. So instead of punishing, it is better to try to understand why is he doing that, what is his need, and then give him the opportunity where he can dig. You can build a sandbox, hide toys there, and let him dig around there. You can teach him, this is the place to dig. Good job, good boy. And if he still goes to the roses, put a little fence there. Then he cannot. Take away the possibility to do the stuff that he cannot do and give him the opportunity that he absolutely can do. Third one is too busy environment. If your animal is a little bit fearful, even a busy environment where you live, trucks, buses, cars, people going around, can be too much for him. I have an extremely good example here at my home. Our third dog, Otis, he is extremely fearful dog. When he came to us a few years ago, he was so afraid of the noises that came from the street that he went out only when it was completely pitch black. And he ran from the house to the yard to pee, and then he ran inside because he was so afraid of the noises that we have here around our house. Now he's at the point where he can happily be at the yard, no problem. But when he goes on the streets, he gets very, very excited, very stressed about big cars, leaf blowers, anything that makes a big noise. So I try to have his walks on moments when I know that they're not picking up trash cans and so on the side of the city that is calmer, the streets that are calmer, or in a completely different environment, like a forest. He's a completely different dog because he's not afraid there. You can also have a busy environment in your home. If you have a lot of traffic at your place, kids running around, like in our house, teenagers, just people passing through all day long, might be that your dog doesn't get enough rest. And that's a busy environment. And then we have to think, how can we get the situation better so your dog's stress levels will come down? Because if the stress goes too high, it will cause physical and mental problems, and the behavior problems will get worse because there's no way that we can act nicely when the stress goes up. I can see in people, different kind of people, they work differently under high pressure. If we think about a situation where somebody gets a heart attack and there's 30 people around that person, 29 people are going to stand still and watch, and they don't know what to do. And then there's that one person who just knows, has an impulse, who can work under pressure and gets the stuff done. And those 29 people, they're just frozen there. They cannot do nothing. And it's not because they wouldn't want to. And they might be feeling extremely bad afterwards and blaming themselves. Why didn't I do anything? But it's not up for them. Their system is not built for that. I freeze, for example, if I have to drive when he's in the car, because I know how he's going to comment my driving. So I'm extremely uncomfortable. But if you put me in a big stage where I have to talk to 10,000 people, I'm cool as a cucumber. So it depends completely about the situation. What is stressful for one person might be is not stressful for the other. The same with dogs. My old dog Jam, she doesn't care. She doesn't care about anything unless if there's thunder. Otis instead is afraid of buses, but he can go out with thunder. He doesn't care. Depends. What is stressful for him is not stressful for her. The fourth one that we often don't see is pain. We need to get a lot better recognizing pain. Our vets would have to get better recognizing pain and linking it to the behavior. Because oftentimes, if the behavior changes very quickly, if you have a calm dog who suddenly starts to growl at you or suddenly starts to pull away, you can almost always be certain it is pain. So watch for sudden behavior changes, because pain is one of the biggest ones that causes stress. Then this is the last one that I want you to remember. Having too much fun will create stress. Example that everybody is doing at their home is throwing a ball to your dog. It's fine if you throw it 2 to 3 times. Nothing bad happens. Stress level goes up, comes down, goes up, comes a little bit less down, comes up, stays quite high. But what happens? Well, my dog loves throwing the ball, running after the ball that I throw. Yeah, for sure. He loves it because it gives him the rush. But what happens? The stress level just keeps on rising, and it will never come down. And if you continue repeating, the stress level stays high in alert, and it just won't come down. So what started as a positive thing actually in his body turns out to be a negative thing, because his cortisol levels are jumping all over the place. And then we see hyperreactivity, leash pulling, jumping, not being able to calm down, and on and on and on and on and on and on and on. So these are 5 things that we can see that create a lot of stress to our dogs. And then we add our stress. You put our stress, what happens in our daily life, with our bills, with our marriage, with our kids, with our hobbies, with somebody getting sick, with the extra curriculum we have to do, with the mother-in-law, whatever it is that causes you stress. Might be traffic, might be your health, might be because the dog is not working, bloody hell. Everything that has happening in your life affects to the dog also next to you. Even if you try really hard, it will affect the dog. So it's good to have a routine, a built-in system to calm down your stress and to learn as much as possible about your dog, so we can take away as much as possible of the stress that we have created in his life, even though we didn't mean to create anything. I hope you don't feel stressed now. If you do, please write down in the comments what you have noticed, what kind of stressful behaviors you've noticed your dog is doing, what kind of things you might also be doing to your dog that might stress him out. And when you notice this, try to think about how you can change them and write that down too. If you like this video, I hope you give it a thumbs up, you share it with somebody who might need a helping hand, and I hope to see you the next time. Have a wonderful day. Bye!